Not you.
I just wanted to tell him how we're
Now
gonna
you
word
can
it.
talk.
Now I can?
Yeah.
Mr. Simmons, can you hear me? Mr. Simmons? Okay, wave your hand if you can hear me. Okay, all right, good. So we're gonna do, we talked, kind of what we talked about. 3 years, serve 2 months, commuted time, or I'm sorry, credit for time served, because you've already done it. Balance on probation. Probation is suspended once you've completed family violence intervention program. Okay? That's it. You were supposed to do it to begin with, so you just have to do it now, and you'll be done with the case. All right. And you keep your first offender.
51.
Okay? All right.
51, and I'm proud of it. Good morning. How are you all? Y'all doing good? Hanging in there? Okay, Judge Schwal will be on the bench momentarily, and we'll get started. Once we get, I'm hearing feedback. Can you bring that up? Yeah. Mm-mm. For some reason, I don't know how they have this rigged. No, it's not this one. No, it's fine.
Oh.
Okay. Let me go get him.
I didn't know either.
For South Booth, it should be Tommy Wood. Are you Tommy Wood? And for South,
I'm not on anything.
Okay, hold on for a second.
I ain't seen it. Grace said you actually gave it to that. Yes, I did. Shut. Too short, still look fast. Yeah.
I have that.
Yeah, I'm using that just.
Oh, okay. I got it. Okay, that's fine.
Good morning. Just give us just a second. We're getting set up. I'll go get Ms. Rockwell.
Now what? Do the click.
This isn't valid meeting. Hold on.
Use that as you wish.
Oh, I gotta let him in. Hold on. Maybe this is him. iPhones. I'm gonna do it.
That's my phone.
Is that you?
That's me. Reminder.
And somebody's let me in.
Yes, sir. Bless you. You know how to turn on your video?
Join with,
Hello.
all right, good morning. Who is the first case, please? Turn off his microphone. All right, there.
Hello.
All right, who's the first person we're gonna talk to?
Okay, now let's see if we have any feedback now.
Hello? Okay,
We are good, Judge. You have, okay. Let's start with, position 2, Rayshawn Simmons, 5 North. Hold on just a minute. Go ahead.
Your Honor, we have a stipulated agreement for the court. Because he was on first offender probation, the part of the agreement is to retain his first offender status, but would need to be resentenced. And the proposed, his new violation is 2 theft by shopliftings in Gwinnett. And so it would be 3 years, served 2 months, balance on probation, but suspended upon completion of the family violence intervention program.
all right, so ordered. That takes care of that position.
And Judge, that was with credit for time served 2 months as well.
So it's credit, he's served it.
Correct.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so ordered.
Thank you.
Let me make sure I have this right. 3 years, served 2 months.
Yes,
Completely time served.
Yes.
correct.
And this is
Correct.
a resentencing.
Yes, ma'am.
Balance on probation, suspended upon completion of the family violence intervention program.
All right, do you understand that, Mr. Simmons?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you've agreed to that with your lawyer, Ms. Hudson. Okay, good luck to you, sir. You're getting out.
Thank you.
All right, let's do right, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, take care now. What's next?
Jesse Copeland, if Mr.
He, 88 Trepannay, he's in Carnicel, but he said he should be here shortly.
Okay, well, let's go to the next one. Tommy Wood. That is 4 South.
And that's Ms. Rockwell's case.
Let me go running. You got, you sure?
Ms. Rockwell. Ms. Rockwell.
For Wood, it's Miss Rockwell.
Yes, Judge.
Where's the woods? He's on the way.
Counselor,
Hey, Judge,
good morning.
I wish men fought over me like judges did.
No comment. Hey, what are we doing here today?
Which one, Judge?
Tommy Wood.
Okay. Oh, and Mr. Evans, would you please change your name on your Zoom? That's iPhone 84, Judge. I see him, Mr. Moses Evans. On Tommy Wood, Judge, apparently something was worked out with him between the state and well,
Me.
I guess.
Ms. Hanson, what do we have, please?
So,
Well,
let me see if that's him.
Ms. Rockwell
Is that Tommy right there? I don't, oh, there you are. There's Tommy in number 414. Judge, he's been in for a good little while, and the state was inclined to reinstate him, maybe with a, we're trying to get him some services, but I've been in contact with his father, and
Does he have somewhere to go with his father?
he's gonna still let you come home, Tommy?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
All right, what is your father's phone number?
Oh,
All right, we can't do that right now. Okay, that's fine. Ms. Rockwell, can you contact the father?
Yes.
All right.
Well, let me say this, maybe, Judge, only because I lost every contact that I have, changing my cell phone, and I'll call somebody in the jail. If, I'll put my name in the chat, if the jail will just call me.
All right, that's fine. I'm gonna reinstate you.
yes, sir.
All right. What,
Does probation need to talk to him or are you good?
I think it's fine.
Need to talk to him? No? Okay.
All right, looks like we're moving over to number 8.
Yes.
Going to Mr. Buckles.
Usury should not be here. I counsel him. Tashana Tompkins has been further noticed.
It's a motion, Ms. Rockwell, to end probation.
Right, Judge.
Evans is here.
And he is the one that looks like Moses Evans on the bottom. There he is. He's on the bottom of the screen, Judge.
So,
Are we on the record?
yes,
What position?
number 8. Your motion to terminate probation, is that agreed to, Mr. Atkins?
Yes, Your Honor, the state's not going to be opposing that motion.
So ordered. All right, is that it, Ms. Rockwell?
Yes, sir. And that's going to be if probation in sight, Judge, that is going to be a first offender. So we'll need an order of discharge and acquittal. I'll get with Madam Probation on that. Just make sure it's
Okay,
filed. And can he be excused, Mr. Evans?
yes.
Thank you.
Good luck to you, sir.
Somebody.
What about 9?
Hold on, Judge. I'm looking to see who's on here. Ms. Christian?
State's ready, 10 if the court's ready.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Ms. Gowdy?
Ivory Gowdy is with our office. She is
Okay.
not here, but I will find
She
her.
is here.
I see her on the Zoom.
Oh, she's on Zoom. Okay.
Judge, this is in,
I don't see her.
hold on, is Devontae, Burnett here
Oh, there she is.
in 7 South? Do I have 7 South? Mr. Burnett, is that you? Okay.
Oh, Your Honor, although my name is not on there, Laura Jansen for the state, I'm handling number 9.
You're handling that.
Yes.
I thought we were at position 10. Thank you.
All right, so this is a bond hearing.
Correct, Your Honor. It was reset from the August 2nd presiding calendar, Your Honor.
Tell me the alleged facts and the evidence of involvement in a criminal street gang, please, Ms. Jansen.
Thank you, Judge. Your Honor, this case is based on April 14th, 2022 in South Fulton County, in murder of victim Jesse Williams. The defendant has been documented as far back as 2017 by the Georgia Department of Corrections as being a member of criminal street gang 9 Trey Woods. Judge, this criminal act that occurred in April was between the defendant and fellow gang members affiliated with the 9 Treys. And it was a crime and a murder perpetrated upon a victim of an opposing gang. Jesse Williams is the victim. The case, Your Honor, stemmed from all of the parties being familiar with one another. The witnesses, the family, they all were used to throwing dice together, gambling, and an earlier event between the parties. Dice was thrown, the victims won $1,000 off the defendants. Defendants broke into their house where they were in the past welcome, came in, shot them at gunpoint while in bed. So the state, Your Honor, is of course asking for no bond. In this case, he spent, I believe, only 26 days in Rice Street thus far after being picked up. State is extremely concerned, Your Honor, about further risk of intimidation of witnesses and the danger of the victim's family and the witnesses based on the fact that this occurred, as I stated, at the address of 2736 Bluestone Drive, Atlanta, Georgia. That would be the home of the victim, as well as the eyewitnesses and the family of the victim. Therefore, defendant knows where everyone lives, who they are, their names, their contact information, and how to have access to their homes. Because of the severity of the charges of this crime and the gang affiliation by the defendant being very strong, Judge, we go on to the community. Any ties to the community are deeply rooted in his gang affiliation.
What was he imprisoned for in the Department of Corrections in 2017, where they initially identified him as being in a gang?
Your Honor, that was for an aggravated assault. That was from a 2016 case. He started out in 2012 with a burglary that was reduced to a theft by receiving stolen property misdemeanor. He then went on while that case was pending and was convicted of a first-degree burglary in Rockdale County, for which he took First Offender Act and received 5 serve 2. That was when actually he went into the Department of Corrections, Judge, and he has been solidly documented.
What is his record?
As I continue, Judge, that was the second cycle, the First Offender Act. Then, Your Honor, June 2nd, 2016, while under sentence, he then was charged with another theft by taking. He then, Judge, in June 25th, 2016 is when he picked up the conviction for aggravated assault and drugs. He received 4 years probation. While the cab did not revoke at that time, Judge, he did get a probation violation later by Rockdale County from the theft by taking. And then that brings us to this crime, Judge, he's only escalated from the aggravated assault.
How was he arrested? Was he arrested by the fugitive squad?
Yes, Judge, through South Fulton, after warrants were taken and investigation.
So it took from April till about 26 days ago to get him into custody?
Yes. And part of the reason for that, Your Honor, was the extensive investigation that was undertaken by South Fulton gang detective Kenya Manson as to the nature and the motivation behind this and the relationships of the parties, which led her to the multiple counts of participation in criminal street gang activity, along with the murder, the armed robbery, possession of firearm by a convicted felon, possession of firearm during commission of a felony.
All right, Ms. Goody?
Yes, Your Honor. Ivory Gowdy on behalf of Mr. Burnett. I work for the Office of the Public Defender, Your Honor. Mr. Burnett is 28 years old, Your Honor. He's actually been in custody for the past 41 days at the Fulton County Jail, Your Honor, in a no bond status. If released on bond, Mr. Burnett does have good ties to the community. In particular, he'd be residing in Decatur, Georgia with his father, Mr. Dion Burnett, who is on the phone call today with us, showing his support for his son, Your Honor. In terms of other ties to the community, Judge, he is a lifelong resident of the state of Georgia. He has a child that is due in October. That's his first child. He was working at the time of his arrest, Your Honor, as a bus and trailer repair agent with a family-owned business with the father, Judge. He attended high school here. His family's here. He's worked here his entire life. So I have no concerns about him fleeing from the jurisdiction, Your Honor. As you heard from Madam DA, Your Honor, that is correct. He does have some criminal history, Your Honor. I will note that in my review of the GCIC in this case, Your Honor, I didn't see any history of him actually being charged as a member of a street gang, Your Honor, which is interesting to see the Department of Corrections tagging him as a gang member, Your Honor, in 2017. We had no prior history prior to that of being a part of any gang or being associated with a gang, Your Honor. I I didn't see any history of VOPs or FTAs, Your Honor. So even in spite of the criminal history, Judge, he's someone that has shown over the last 10 years that he will avail himself to the courts and avail himself to process when required to do so, Your Honor. And lastly, I understand that the state has recited a lot of facts to the court regarding this case, Your Honor. I just would note that this is still a pending and active investigation, Your Honor. In particular, what concerns us is the allegation that Mr. Burnett was allowed into a rival gang member's home. And then thereafter, he is accused of shooting this individual, the allegations that they were friends. I just find it strange that you have two rival gang members allowing each other to be in each other's homes, playing games, playing chess, checkers, what have you. And then thereafter, there's an allegation of Mr. Burnett shooting this individual, Your Honor. And so for that reason, amongst others, I do think it's still a pending investigation that needs to further kind of be looked into. So we just asked the court to set a reasonable bond at this time for Mr. Burnett, Judge.
All right. If in fact he's in a criminal street gang, then he's a danger to the community, a danger to commit more violent crimes, and a danger to any witnesses. So bond is hereby denied on all counts. All right. Let's take Roderick Teasley. Yes?
Judge, may I just place on the record that the victim's sister, Sharon Williams, is here on the Zoom hearing with us, and she is present.
Miss Williams?
Hold on, Judge. She's on mute.
Miss Williams?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes. I'm very sorry for your loss. God bless you. Do you have anything you wish to add?
I just want to make a quick statement. It's not long. I am at work, but I did step outside to join. So first of all, I want to say good morning, Your Honor. My name is Sharon Williams. I'm the sister of Jesse Williams. And so I just have a quick statement. So no more happy birthdays, Merry Christmas, first day of schools, or graduations. All of these things might seem regular, but to think that my brother, Jesse Williams, would never be able to sing happy birthday to his kids, family, friends is unbelievable. Jesse never got to see his youngest son, which is now 6 months. And like I say, my brother passed away April 14th. He'll never get to hear his son's first words, which was that a video that we play constantly over and over. When we look into his son's eyes, of course, we see Jesse. Jesse loved his family. This crime of act of hatred not only caused our family major grief, but it has made many of us weak. We think daily of how Jesse could have been, and if he could have been a great dad, husband, brother, and a man of Christ. His kids ask for him daily. He isn't coming home. We say that to them all the time, to their innocent faces. The loss of Jesse has been detrimental to our family because we will never get to see him again. All of the hurt that this person has caused my family, I would never wish this pain on anyone. No one deserved this. My brother did not deserve this. Although Jesse is no longer here with us physically, he will always have a special place in our hearts. Our prayers to keep trusting and believing in our Heavenly Father, and that when this is all over, justice will be served for the murder of our brother, my loved one, our brother. On behalf of myself and family and close friends, we're asking you to please allow the suspect not back on the streets to possibly strike again or endanger another human being. Thank you, Your Honor. Please, we're asking that you deny the bond. And I think you have did that. So I just want to say thank you.
God bless you. Very sorry for your loss. And yes, I have denied bond. I think this defendant is a danger to the community, a danger to commit more violent crimes. And if he's in a gang, then he's dedicated his life to destruction and a life of violence. So we will revisit this case down the road. God bless you. All right.
Thank you. God bless you all. Thank you for your kindness.
All right. Roderick Teasley. Ms. Goody.
Sure. Your Honor, that's also my case as well.
All right. Whose case is that for the state?
Good morning, Your Honor. ADA Kelsey Jones Connor here for Ms. Christian, just standing in for this case.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good to see you.
You too.
Please tell me what's going on here. It's a murder case, the alleged facts.
Yes, Your Honor. So this case stems from the June 2nd, 2022 fatal shooting of 17-year-old Dravion, Drevion, also known as Dre, Dre, Matthew. It was when officers arrived to the scene at 540 Humphrey Street Southwest that they discovered a witness who did identify himself at the time. And that witness did admit that he had witnessed the shooting of Mr. Matthew, again, who was only 17 at the time. And Your Honor, this case really stems down to a couple of different factors as far as Mr. Teasley's eligibility for bond. He does not have a felony history. However, we do see him as a danger to the community with the nature of the case itself. Also, Your Honor, in 2018, before the court, he had an aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. It was reduced to a reckless conduct, but he did serve 12 months on that charge. Also, Your Honor, he would be considered a risk of intimidating witnesses, and that's for a couple of different reasons, but particularly there was contact of family members of the victim around June. So it was before Mr. Teasley was taken into custody, but when he was out of custody and before he was in where he is now, he was participating in the exact type of behavior that a no bond status would prevent, and that's any contact with the family.
What did he say to the family?
What was that, Your Honor?
What did he say to the family, please?
I do not have the exact.
Well, you talked to the family.
Yes, Your Honor. So Ms.
they-
Christian did speak to the family, and I believe they were supposed to be on this morning. If they are on, if they could identify themselves and take themselves off mute. But I can say that there are several eyewitnesses that are afraid to speak, and that the family did express that they had been contacted around June specifically.
Ms. Goody?
Yes, Your Honor. Before the court is Mr. Teasley. Your Honor, Mr. Teasley is 28 years old. He's been in custody at the Fulton County Jail, Your Honor, now for 41 days in a no bond status. If released on bond, here are his ties to the community judge. Mr. Teasley is a lifelong resident of the Metro Atlanta area. He resides here with his mother, his father, a host of aunts and uncles. In particular, his mother, Ms. Crystal Teasley, is on the call to show her support for her son today, Your Honor. He does have a good address. It's an address in Riverdale, Georgia, which is approximately 25-30 minutes away from the incident location, Your Honor. He does have 4 children that he provides for financially and emotionally, Your Honor, ages 10, 7, 5, and 2, Your Honor. They're currently with the child's mother as well as his mother while this case is pending, Your Honor. Prior to being incarcerated, Judge, he did a high school education. Additionally, he was working for a movie and delivery company, Your Honor. He expects to go back to that source of employment if released on bond in this case, Your Honor. As it pertains to the other Ayala factors, Judge, I'll just start with his criminal history, Judge. Ms. Jones-Connor is correct, Your Honor. He does have no felony convictions in his record. I don't see any history of VOPs, no history of FTAs, Your Honor. So even in spite of the previous arrest, Your Honor, he has availed himself to the court when required to do so in the past, Your Honor. As it relates to the idea of intimidating witnesses, I understand the state's concerned about someone contacting the family, but there was nothing said today about Mr. Teasley in particular being responsible for any contact that the family may have had prior to today's hearing, Your Honor. If the court is concerned about him returning to the location, he is amenable to being fitted with an ankle monitor and a curfew with exceptions for work, medical appointments, and what have you, Your Honor. We've had the opportunity to go to the incident location, and we're also very lucky to have the leasing agent walk us through the property to show us if there are any cameras available that may have captured the events that took place on June the 2nd, Your Honor. And by our math, there are upwards of 14 cameras on the property that point in or around their direction of the actual place of the shooting, Your Honor. And I think it's interesting the state didn't mention whether or not law enforcement had the opportunity to review any of those cameras to reflect whether or not this incident was captured on footage. I think that would hopefully dispel any type of concerns about whether or not Mr. Teasley is actually responsible for the events that took place on June the 2nd, Your Honor. So for someone who has no criminal history, no FTAs, no VOPs, we'd ask the court to consider a good bond not to exceed $50,000 with whatever other conditions the court deems necessary to ensure his return to court.
Is the family on Miss Jones-Connor?
Your Honor, we do have a statement from the family that Ms. Botu, our victim advocate, can read for the court. And I also would like to address one of the concerns that was just brought up by Ms. Gowdy. And that is that there was video surveillance cameras that were monitored by police officers during their investigation. And it did show Mr. Teasley, also known as Rock, ROCC, walking with a gun in his hand just seconds after the shooting in the area of that apartment. And the shooting itself stems from a simple argument, according to witnesses, over the decedent asking a group to move from in front of his mother's apartment door. But it was Mr. Teasley himself that's seen on the video surveillance footage carrying a gun just seconds after the shooting.
All right, I'm gonna deny bond. I'm gonna deny bond, because I'm worried he's gonna contact the family and intimidate witnesses. All right, Arrington, Yonell Arrington.
Your Honor, that's gonna be at 2 p.m. or scheduled for 2 p.m.
He went next door.
All right, so we have 2 at 2 p.m.,
And we have one other one right now, Judge,
one at 2:30.
and we have another one. We're waiting on Mr. Trepannay to come back in. He was in here earlier.
And that's number 3, Jesse Copeland. Everybody else may be excused other than Ms. Hanson and Ms. Hanson and Mr. Trepanier.
Yes, Trepanier.
Trepanier.
We're gonna get it right.
And I believe, I don't want to say out of place, but I believe that the state's going to announce that they're not proceeding on the probation revocation for Mr. Jesse Copeland, but
And so we're just going to reinstate.
I assume they just withdraw the petition, Your Honor.
I'm communicating with Mr. Trepannay.
Just ask him if that's true. If you can pick up the phone and call him.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
You can call him in here.
Okay, I'll call him right now.
Okay, now,
Now we can go.
Mr. Atkins, Ms.
All right, so we're on the record. Ms. Hanson has represented to the court that she believes that Mr. Trepannay would come into court and say the state's withdrawing the probation revocation application. Mr. Atkins has said that he believes that's the case. He's trying to get in touch with Mr. Trepannay. So if that's not correct, we will come back on the record. Assuming that's correct, then we'll just handle it like this. Okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, y'all have, and we'll see y'all at 2:00.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Am I excused, Your Honor?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Romero. Good morning, Ms. Romero.
Can I leave?
May I have the afternoon calendar, please?
2 and 2:30, please.
Yes, you can leave, Mr. Copeland, and I got your email, that's Ms. Montgomery. I'll take care of that. Thank you.
Thank you. Your Honor, may I be excused?
Everyone can be excused. We'll see everybody back. The parties that need to be back, we'll see you all back at 2 p.m.